All right, here we go. Welcome to our team call, team together call, but we have some special friends on tonight that we are super excited about. So anybody who's watching this, probably anybody in the Cherry Bomb group, we are welcome to our team call. I will keep promoting people. I'll get back to you if you haven't been promoted yet. We have some really special things that I want to get to. So tonight, Christie and Robin are going to do a special training for us, but we have a couple other things we need to do as well. We may go a little over 30 minutes. Okay. Most of you, if you are, usually if you're new or you're trying to hit sales coordinator, you're used to being on for an hour at this time anyway. If you're already a sales coordinator, then you're a leader and you'll be fine with this going over. I know that. So, the first things first though, is some awesome celebration. I know we've had quite a few promotions happening, and like big, huge shout out to all of you guys, everything you've been doing. We want to let Heather come on here for a minute, but I'm going to have Hannah introduce her because we do have a brand new sales coordinator on our team this week. And that is that's a huge thing, you guys. That is a major accomplishment. That is getting to the top commission level in our company. And that is a big deal. And we are super excited and so proud of Heather. So I'm going to let Hannah introduce her real quickly and then just let Heather share whatever she wants to share here real quickly.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so excited for her because, my job as a friend is to share this product with her and this business and cast vision for her. And so she has ran with this, and I'm not going to take any more of your time because I'm sure she'll have some amazing things to share about her journey with Juice Plus, not only the product, but the business also. So our newest sales coordinator, Heather Heiberger.
Thank you, Hannah. So I don't know, those of you that don't know, Hannah and I have been best friends since we were 6. So I'm sure when she first started sharing the product with me, playback. You guys hear that? Okay.
Yeah, we heard it for just a second, but it's gone now.
Okay. So when she first started sharing the product with me, she probably thought that it would be like I would get it immediately because we like think alike, but I didn't. And she didn't give up on me, and she probably sent me over 100 videos seriously over the course of 6 months. But moral of the story is I had a best friend that didn't give up on me. So fast forward, we took them for me and my family and I took them for over a year, and we even canceled at one point. And that just, I remind myself as I was going for sales coordinator, like how much, what that means to, when I talk to people, like it really just, reiterated for me that, no one's going to get it until it's their time. So anyway, it kind of just stuck once I kind of looked back and was like, wow, our health has really improved. Like we were able to throw away my boys' inhalers. None of us had been on antibiotics in over 15 months. And, I ate these throughout my entire 3rd pregnancy, and I had the best pregnancy. I had no sciatic pain, no joint pain. I was able to keep up with my boys, and that was totally different from their pregnancy. So it really just changed our lives. So I guess what switched for me to knowing that I needed to do this as a business was watching a lot of people's testimony videos and just really hearing like how this has changed people's lives. And, you immediately think of all the people in your family and the people that you love and your friends that this could really impact and make a big difference. So that's when I said yes. And it's really just been so good for our family. What helped me specifically reach SC, and to be honest with you, I was not thinking SC when I first started. It was definitely just like a focus on one promotion at a time. And up until I would hit the next one, I truly was just like, all right, I'm going to be done here. But then I was watching the videos anyway. I was passionate about it anyway. And it was like a no-brainer to keep going. So I just was really staying plugged into the calls, plugging into Voxer and doing my Team Z was the big, huge changer for me. I really love Mitra's training videos. She gets on Monday through Thursday for quick trainings in the morning, and I never miss those. And that has really helped. So I think in a nutshell, just to kind of wrap it up, is that what helped me hit SC specifically, because it was such a much bigger goal, was really working on me. And I didn't think that I would have to do that, but shifting how I was thinking about potential prospects and the inner dialogue that you have as you're like going to reach out to somebody or text somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time. Like before, I'd be like, yeah, they wouldn't be interested, and I would just move on. But like, you really have to work on just remembering, like, reaching out to people and not having that filter ahead of time. So at the end of the day, if I would get nervous or something, I would just remind myself, like, guys, we have an awesome product and I'm just the messenger, and it's not for everybody. And if they say no, it's not going to hurt my feelings, and you just move on. So just kind of building that inner confidence is what helped me the most. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. This is exciting.
That's right. Robin says future NMD. Gosh, you can see it, right? Like, no way that, she's just hitting SC, but you've got it, girl. We're so proud of you, and we're so excited really to know that you're barely even scratching the surface of the amount of people that you're going to reach and be able to help. So that is awesome. Okay, so I get to introduce the people who are training tonight. Before we do, I've not forgotten, we are drawing tonight. We are drawing. I already have all the names in here. So for my team, everybody who was on this call, on the team call live last week, there's a lot of you, but your names are all in this hat right here already. Those of you who are on tonight, while Robin and Christy are talking, I'm going to be putting all your names in this hat, and somebody's going to win either a free conference ticket or a $100 voucher to help pay for your airfare getting to Austin. So we will draw whenever Christy and Robin are done with their training. Now, I don't want to take any more of their time. You guys should all know them. If you don't, you might be newer to our group. Christy and Robin are two of our sideline national marketing director friends that I'm so blessed to do life with now. I get to do life with them. So they are awesome, and they have volunteered to come on here and do this for us. So I'm gonna just let them take it over. You guys, who's starting? So it's Christy Nix and Robin Eisenbei. So I'm gonna spotlight Robin here. And thank you guys so much for being on and doing this for us.
Absolutely. Well, what a fun team. I love Heather, congratulations. That is huge. And Hannah, I love it, sir. I cannot wait to share it with my team. So tonight, Christy and I are super excited. We have become, as Allie likes to call us, Batman and Robin. And it is something that is, I don't know, who's ever listened to Rachel Hollis? Anybody a Rachel Hollis fan? Girl, Wash Your Face. She has the best podcast. And when I'm running, I'll just listen to whatever's, coming up next. And one day I happened to listen to episode 98, and you'll see this later. And Rachel was interviewing a very famous author, financial planner. His name is David Bach. And I got so fired up listening. I actually ran like 3 more miles because I wanted to hear the entire podcast with her. But basically, what we want to talk about tonight is taking financial ownership of your Juice Plus business. Okay. So a really quick story for those that don't know my story. We had a health crisis in our family. Juice Plus made sense. It totally helped our entire family. 2 months after getting started, my husband, who's a cancer doctor, with his private practice, it closed. And I had been a professional volunteer, stay-at-home mom for 3 kids for 17 years. It was the scariest time for us. Now, granted, before I always forget this, he did get another job within a week, but that day one, I went to work. I called the person who shared Juice Plus with me, and I said, tell me about the business behind this product that is making huge, differences for our family. And I set a goal of $500 a month. I'm like, if I can do that, that would just at least help a little bit. But you know what? It really, and Heather, you touched on this. I saw that I needed personal development. Prior to this, I was like really into, my business. And for 17 years, I just kind of stopped. I was a mom. So I just really realized I never want to be in a situation where I don't have an opportunity to contribute to our family. So with that, I'm going to share our screen, and you'll hear more of my story as we go through here. So taking financial ownership over our lives so that we can end up financially secure. Let me get this started here. All right. And Christy, we're going to have you take over for this.
Yeah. Hey guys. Just a quick thing about, Robin's story. I'm kind of completely the opposite as we start to kind of gauge into this. So I think it's good that we are very opposite. When you start to hear Robin's story about the impact that her mom put on her, you're going to hear how lucky she was to have such a great financial mind. But for me, I first chose my first credit card based upon how pretty the photo was. It wasn't about APR. It wasn't about any of that. I'm just a very visual person. And I never realized how passionate I would be about money until I started realizing that I hear people say, I'm not in this business because of the money. And then I would hear people say, money isn't important to me. And David Bach said this on the podcast that Robin's talking about. Please listen to it. And he says, well, neither is oxygen until it's gone. And I feel like it's worth repeating. Money isn't important. Well, neither is oxygen until it's gone. And when you look at these statistics, this is oxygen when it's gone. And I look at this as an opportunity to say, put your business caps on and see this as an opportunity that this team, like all of our teams combined, can change these statistics. We have the vehicles to do this, whether it's through helping impact their health and whether it's helping them impact their finances. But I realize I get really revved up when I hear women say that they don't do this for the money, because their future, we don't know. We don't know what our future holds. We only can control what's happening to us right now. And there's something called 4 Ds: death, debt, divorce, and disability. And I hope that we all just have to experience death. But the reality is this is not the case. Everybody is, we don't know what's going to happen. So thinking about 76% of people are living paycheck to paycheck right now. How many people can you help? How many people can you help as we go through the holiday season when they want to be able to afford to be able to buy their kids Christmas gifts and put it under the tree? 64% have no money in savings whatsoever. 48% of women who are earning $100,000 a year are afraid they're going to become bag ladies. So that all goes back to what Heather had mentioned, is we've got to do some work on ourselves. Women who are making a 6-figure income have a scarcity mentality. You know where that's going to take them? Back to having no income. Your brain is going to wire you so that you're not able to collect that. On average, women have accumulated 34% less money in retirement accounts than men. How many of you guys sitting on here right now are stay-at-home moms? That's probably the reason. That's probably the reason why 34% of women have less money into their accounts. And to me, this one just kills me. The average income of a woman over 65 is just over $18,000 a year. I hope they have a good retirement. $18,000 a year is what I barely survived on in college, let alone a woman who's in her 65 years of age after accomplishing raising babies, having a career, doing whatever amazing superwoman things she's done. She's only earning that. Not okay with that. You guys can read the rest of the statistics. But to me, Robin, if you can take to the next one, the reality is we need to be in control of our finances. We need to know where they're going. It doesn't matter how much you trust your husband. Robin trusts her husband. I trust mine wholeheartedly. But the reality is the statistics show is that women live longer. We do. So, and we're finding that all of a sudden these, men are living to age maybe 57. That's the average, 57, 58, 59. I can't remember. Is the average age of a widow. And y'all, it's us that are dealing with it. It's us that are dealing with putting our spouses into the ground. It's us that are realizing that maybe we don't have as much income as in our accounts and we thought we did. Got to change that. To me, 75% of poverty-stricken elderly women were not poverty-stricken before their husband died. I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want that to happen to anyone that you know and love. And I want you to see this as a springboard to bring this as a conversation to people. Use the podcast, use the book that Robin's going to tell you about to have that as a springboard to start having conversations so you have a way to talk to them about their future.
All right. So this is my mom that Christie mentioned. Can you raise your hand if you've read this book, The Latte Factor? Double hands up. You guys, yes, it is so powerful. And I had my kids read it and my husband on our vacation. It's like a 2-hour book. And I love the story because Grandma Bach reminds me so much of my mom, Nancy Kimball. We call her BB. When she started her career as a realtor, she was 40, and she had a coach. We all need coaches, right? She had a real estate coach who told her, you need to divide up your money. So you pay yourself first. And she had 7 different accounts, and the bankers at the time, they still get upset. Every time I go in, they're like, oh my God, here she comes. But you can do it all online now. You don't actually have to go in. But she taught us, I have a twin brother, as kids to start saving. And I love this. I totally forgot about it. I was telling her I was doing this story or this training tonight. And when every year we celebrate a birthday, my parents would give us a certain amount of money, and we had a birthday savings account. And maybe you guys do this for your own kids. Well, that money, when I went to buy our first condo, my husband and I got married, we used the down payment was with that birthday money. That's compound interest, you guys. So if you don't even know what that is, you will learn it by reading the Latte Factor. So I wanted to share this photo because of my mom, BB, I am doing the same with our children. And it's so cool. So now when we have conversations, my daughter, Lydia on the right, she is in college as a senior. And she will say, Mom, my Latte Factor was, I took a salad in a jar instead of going to, a $10 place to grab a salad. So your kids are never too old or young to start, no matter what age, and same with you. So what I've done with my business, when I started 7 years ago, my commission check, I have a separate account. Okay. It's just my Juice Plus money. And we get paid usually around the 5th or 6th. So on the 10th of the month, I have divided up my paycheck into 3 other accounts, actually 4 total. I have my Juice Plus Badass. That's where the majority of my money goes. Then I have my tax account. So I do a set amount that's the same every single month that goes into my tax account. Okay. Pay yourself first. And then I have one that is for travel and adventure. So we go on trips. It doesn't even impact us because I've been saving money with every single commission check and bonus check. And then the 4th one is BIB. When you hit senior sales coordinator and above, the company gives you a business incentive. So every single month, it just automatically goes in there. And I have it set up on my phone, and I check this every day just to see how my money's doing. You touch it every day, and you just kind of know what's happening. So let's see here. This is the Latte Factor. Again, you can listen to it on Audible. You can read the book. I like reading because I like to highlight, but David Bach has written, I think, like 18 books now. This is the book that he talked about in addition to the Latte Factor, Smart Women Finish Rich. I also have Smart Couples Finish Rich. You guys, it is so good. I mean, it's like a school book. I have highlighted so much. Some of it is over my head. You just keep going on. Okay. So don't worry if you don't understand it, but I strongly recommend that you get invested. He has a podcast also, so you can start really listening to David Bach, and he's high energy. You'll really like him. So this one's me, right, Christie? Yes. Okay. So this slide, I love this slide. And Christie did this awesome PowerPoint so we can visually see, because we're all visual. Well, I'm a visual learner. So 3 secrets to financial freedom. It's a myth that you must make more money in order to be rich. So the way that this will work, that you can actually become rich with your Juice Plus money, is you need to start by what I was saying is pay yourself first. Buy your financial freedom for later. So let's just look at the self-employed. You take 10% of your income off the top, okay? So whatever your check is per month, you want to take 10% and divide that up into, however many accounts you want. But the most important thing in addition to that is to create a 401 retirement plan. So I am not an accountant. I feel like I'm becoming more badass about money, but I really, like 3 months ago, I didn't have the confidence, and I'm learning, okay? Something I mentioned on our Cherry Bomb call is because we're all independent owners, you can have a retirement account that's called a SEP, SEP. It's a self-employment program. And just you can go Google it, go online, talk to your accountant if you have one. But I strongly recommend that you put as much money as you can into that account because that's not taxed. So again, everybody says I have to do a budget. Budgets do not work. Make your, divide up the money automatic, okay? And then you watch that number compound for you. And the third is live rich now. So you want to really get your dream board out. I have mine facing, I'm looking at it right now. Look at it. What do you want to do in the next 6 months, year, 5 years, 10 years? Get excited about that, because when you start picturing that happening and visualizing it, the money that you've been compounding, you are going to be able to do those things. So, and as the very last line is, without the third secret, the first two ultimately won't work. You need to know, what are you working so hard for? All right, Christy.
Okay, so this is the idea of the latte factor. So like Robin says, it's a metaphor. You don't have to give up your coffee, but choose something that doesn't serve you. Is there something that you are spending your money on daily, weekly? My latte factor is Amazon. They do a really good job of suggesting more things to buy, and I willingly do. I'm coachable, but since reading the book, I'm far more aware of what I actually am spending my money on. And like Robin says, you can start to live rich now. So look at it. What if you are, buying a cup of coffee and a muffin? Let's say it's $5 for the coffee and the muffin every single day, and you're spending $35 a week on that. What if you hypothetically made your own coffee? You made your own muffins. How much could you save by doing that? So let's look at this. If you were to invest $35 a week into your 401k with a hypothetical 10% growth rate, which is what we find, like David Bach says, over time, the average amount that you can have that rate of growth is 10%. I mean, that $35 a week, $140 a month that you can be investing, 40 years later, you guys have almost $1 million sitting there in your account. Like, factor that in really quickly for yourself. $35 that you're spending into your 401k instead of at Starbucks, and 40 years later, you have almost $1 million waiting for you. That's a huge deal. Isn't it worth it? Is there ways that you can go through on what you're budgeting? It's not about budgeting, but it's about replacing what doesn't serve you. Like David Bach's grandma, she brown bagged her lunch. Mason jar salads is what Lydia was doing. So what can you do first off to help you with that? And then if you're kind of like palm to forehead, like thinking about this should be taught in school, I totally agree. But I also think network marketing should be taught in school too. But they both have very simple formulas on what you can do. And I also want to make sure, sorry, you guys. I also want to make sure you guys look at this and think like, the past is the past. So what if you weren't brought up being taught about money? So what if you were taught money is evil? The reality is that money is an exchange of energy. And if you're a good human and you have more money, you're going to be able to do more good things with that. So take those lists of excuses and tear them up, but see this as an opportunity again to be resourceful. And Robin's going to talk to you all about being resourceful.
Yes. All right. So this is Rachel Hollis. I just purchased my tickets a couple weeks ago to go to Rachel's business conference in Charleston, South Carolina. And you do need to do that. I mean, Heather, I'm sorry I keep bringing you up because you spoke and you shared this, but it really is true. And, not that you need to spend a lot of money. You can listen to podcasts, you can read. Rachel, when she started, Google was her resource. I mean, she Googled everything, and we have that same opportunity. So those are the two books. Follow people. I mean, my podcast list keeps growing. If you listen to somebody and they're being interviewed or they're interviewing somebody else and you really like them, download their podcast. And when you're driving in the car, if you have commutes or, running, exercising, that is a perfect time to really to educate yourself. Christie's going to go over this.
Yep. And one of my favorite things that Rachel Hollis mentions is like, you not being resourceful, you not going out there and utilizing your resources is on you. And in a way, sometimes that can be abrasive, but it comes from the most loving perspective. And the same again translates to our business and network marketing in general. It's so awesome that you guys have Allie and AJ at your fingertips. Not all teams have powerhouses like them, but you all have the tools to be there And one of the best tools is to just look at, what if I'm a qualified business? What does that look like? Let's just say, you've got to be a VF first in order to qualify your business, but take care at a minimum. You want to see on your report card, at a minimum, take care of 11 shred customer orders, because looking at it, a VF, you're going to make $388 a month, $474 a month as a sales coordinator. That's like very low amounts of effort that you have to do to maintain and take care of your customer base. We realize that not everyone wants to become a national marketing director. Maybe it's not at that point yet, but wouldn't that help you? But most importantly, then I hear people say, I only made a $300 paycheck this month. And I'm like, well, what kind of efforts were you putting into that? And then like, do you realize that $300 can be your retirement? And I know that sounds crazy, but Robin's going to show you the math on that.
Yes, it is. And this is now the way I'm launching new team members. So, again, we go back to the Latte factor, $10 a day, $300 a month, or you invested your Juice Plus paycheck as a VF, right? $300 a month, and you earn 10% annual interest. You'd wind up after the first year with $3,770. That's a good amount for the first year. But when you look down and you see after 40 years, it is almost $2 million. And that is if you are at a VF. I mean, we are hoping through trainings, with Allie and AJ and all of us, that you continue to grow and that you continue to get promotions and bonuses, and, your business and team just keeps getting bigger. So I really like to talk to my new reps about, what are their plans, in 5 or 10 years financially, because this is possible. And I think if we all kind of have that mind shift that this can be $1 million business easily. You just need to keep touching your business. Do Team Z. I mean, we all are huge Team Z fans. I do it every single day. Today I did not, because I had a crazy day and I was gone. But 6 days a week I do Team Z, and it has completely changed my business. I don't lose people. I don't forget about people, and they love it. And it's really, really fun. So the next time you're, talking with, whether they're a team member or prospect, kind of bring this up. I've been really asking everybody I know about their finances, and, I mean, not specifically, but, are they in charge? It is crazy how many women are not in charge of their finances. And I was speaking with a very successful business owner, and she went in to get out some cash for a trip. And the teller said, would you like a copy of your statement? And she's like, no, it's fine. And he's like, oh, are you sure? And she's like, you know what, maybe, because her husband does all the finance, she has no idea where anything is. And she looked at the receipt, at the statement. She had $87,000 in checking, making no money. You guys, I mean, it's so simple. And I got her fired up. She's like, I'm going to go talk to my husband, right now and change that over. I mean, you can max out your 401k. You can do so much with that money. Don't let it just sit in a checking account. I could tell you so many more stories like this. It's just really exciting. So, but Christy, go ahead.
Okay, so the last part, there's a gentleman who says freedom is the oxygen of the soul, and just like David Bach says, if money isn't important to you, remember that neither is oxygen. And it's all about getting what is important to you. What is it that you want your life to look like, to make sure that down the road, when you do hit the statistic age of having, possibly, hopefully for none of us, but possibly having someone who's going to, you don't want to be a widow basically, but what if you are? What does the rest of that life look like? We've got to think a long-term in this business, because it is a long-term game business, and understanding like your freedom now is important, but it's super important later, you guys. So the only way to build this life is now, but also with our retirement, and you've got to have that why. So if we had time, Robin and I would take you through the same questions that Keith Abram did when we were at conference last spring. And it's just 25 questions to dig into what are your life goals. And I think it ends up being like 100 things, a list of 100 things that you end up making. And that's what you really need to be able to do in order to get to the how anyways. So, take a moment, Google Keith Abraham, 25 questions, and go through this week, go through it with an accountability buddy, go through it with your family, so that you guys can then have that desire to look at what is your latte factor, or in my sense, I don't want to look at a latte factor. I just want to keep building qualifiers so that they can keep building for retirement. So I don't want to give up my latte factor. I want to keep growing people. So thank you guys so much for giving us the opportunity to talk to you about this. It's really important, especially women. It is so important that we talk more about finances.
So awesome, you guys. I appreciate this so much. I want to real quickly just give people a couple minutes. Anybody who has questions, or maybe you were on the Cherry Bomb call when they did this and something has shifted for you since then. Anybody who wants to share, would love to hear it from you. Or just questions while you've got these two here.
Well, I think that Lisa had a question. I don't know if anybody answered it in the chat about NMD. We do not have a 401k as an NMD, but, you know, what do we need to retire, right? We need finances and health, and we do get our corporate benefit package, but 401k is not included in that, but you'd have a nice steady in income that's coming in. But like Christie and Robin were talking about, the SEP account is really what you need to look into. So I've contacted my own personal accountant that we have, our investor as well. He does both. And I'm setting up a SEP account for me, totally separate from Andy's account, because Andy does have a 401k. And we do put, you know, we do contribute as much as we can into that full out. But that doesn't, like, that's not me. That's not my account. That's irresponsible as far as I'm concerned. For me as a stay-at-home mom, I need to have my own account. This has brought so much light into my future. Like, holy crap. You guys should all be sitting back and being like, wow, okay, now I know this. Knowledge is power. Go be powerful. So this is huge, you guys. And whatever I find out, I am happy to pass along. I am not a financial advisor like Robin was saying. But start doing some research, start asking questions, and it'll snowball into whatever it turns in for you that you start contributing your paycheck.
Yeah, the beauty is the SEP account, the more you make, the more you can contribute. So you can just keeps growing, and it's tax free. So, you know, like AJ just said, you are like saving both sides because you have your 401k and your SEP. So another reason when you're speaking with people is have your own business so you can save more money, right? So yeah, SEP account is key. I remember my mom did that. I'm like, years ago, and I had no idea what it was until really the last couple of months. So, yep. Other questions?
I don't have a question, but I just want to say thank you guys for one, just like being a part of this, and how, you know, Heather was talking about like personal development and, you know, all of this stuff. And we all know we go through that with this, and everybody knows how much I've gone through, but being exposed to this information, like what I can do, what Spencer and I can do for the girls and for ourselves, it's just like, I'm probably going to start crying, but I started crying after I listened to this book, because like something as simple as this is something that people don't talk about, you know, like, why would you not talk about this to help someone, you know, better their lives currently and better their children's future? Like, I was like, this is amazing. So I just had to say thank you, but it's along with, you know, everything being involved in this business. And, you know, people talk about, you know, the preconceived things about network marketing, and like, they just don't know what they don't know, and how blessed we are to have taken this opportunity for ourselves, because it opens so many other doors. And this is another one that I'm just like so excited about. So thank you.
I love that. I love that you're emotional about it, because it really, I mean, that's how I was too. I mean, I'm crying now but it made me mad that I wasn't taking more control. And it's almost like, you know, for the 17 years I was home, I just kind of stopped paying attention to the money, because it wasn't my money. I mean, it was, but now I felt like now that I'm making money, I want to take total control. And the thing that I would recommend for you, Kayla, with Spencer, is I would look at the Smart Couples Finish Rich and really do this together, because I think some spouses can be on the attack, because all of a sudden it's like, wow, oh, she's really like getting into the money, and you're a partnership, and you want to help your kids in your future, the financial future. But David guides you through how to do that, with your spouse, and he's really good. So yeah. And feel free, Kayla, to call either Christy or I anytime. We can help you.
Good thing is I pay attention to our money. He has no idea. He's always like, hey, what are the accounts? Like, okay, this and this, and I just, for me to have this, because like you said, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know this. And, I didn't have parents who guided me, financially, as well as most of us. So having this and having you guys, do this presentation and put it out there and, suggest to read the Latte Factor. I was driving home from Nebraska, just bawling, messaging Allie, messaging everybody on my team, like, please listen to this. It's just amazing. And the presentation was wonderful. And I'm probably just going to watch it over and over again. So
good.
Well, can I share the Kim or Susan picture real quick, Allie?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay, because this should be something that you guys are talking to about your children if you have younger ones, or anyone. Literally, it should be a conversation with anyone when we talk about the power of compound interest. Just look at Susan for a second. At age 19, she started investing $2,000 into her 401k. That's it, $2,000, not per month, for the whole year. I don't even know what that is per month. I'm bad at math. But at age 26, she stopped investing. But watch what happened. She still accrued money. It still grows over the course of age 65. She has over $1 million waiting for her after just a few years of putting $2,000 in. Kim decides to get started a little bit later, but she invests $2,000 until she's age 65. And homegirl is $200,000 shorter in the investment section compared to Susan from starting earlier. So it's really important that you share this with your kids so that they can get started right now. It doesn't mean that, like, if you're, in your 50s, you should not start doing this if you haven't already, but to be able to make our generations better, I think that is such like a great way to show them, like, all you got to do is invest a little bit. You do not have to be rich now. You do not have to make more money in order to invest. You can scrounge up some money if you
That was not Halo barking, so that must have been Fender.
Totally Fender. It could have been Gibson, but it was Fender. He was up here.
I see Halo sleeping on the bed behind Christie. So, okay. If anybody else has any questions while we've got him here, you can unmute yourself. Honestly, like, thank you guys for taking the time. I know, it means a lot to us. It means a lot to my whole team. I know you're both on fire about this, and this is something that, like, for us, you guys understanding what we have, like, we have this opportunity with this company, with our own businesses. We have this opportunity to really do something for our own families, for our futures, for our kids' futures. And like Robin was talking about, like, if you have a spouse, like, talk to them about this, make sure you're on the same page. Put that away for a second. Cole is dying to draw for this name. Make sure you guys are, on the same page, and let them watch this presentation with these guys, because this really is so important. It's going to impact your life. If you do nothing, you maybe don't realize what you're missing. If you do something, then it's going to have a dramatic impact on your future. So thank you guys so much for sharing. We are going to do a drawing here real quickly. And then I'll tell you, if you are new and you are working towards your first 1 or 2 promotions and you want to hang on this line for a few minutes, if you have any questions, we will be on here. But what we're drawing here. Okay, so everybody who is live on this call last week and this week, if you were on both, your name is in here twice. You are going to win a free conference ticket. If you have already purchased your conference ticket, then we're going to give you $100 towards either your gas, your airfare, however you're getting there. And we're going to do this again and again and again, 5 times before Austin. Okay. everybody needs to be in Austin. We've told you guys that over and over. No, that's not the name. We haven't drawn yet. We've told you guys over and over how important this conference is specifically. Everybody needs to get there. That's why we are doing this, to help some of you. So I'm going to mix them up really well.
I need to
Make sure none of them are dropped on the floor. They'll be mad at you. This is so exciting.
And
Okay.
it is.
Are you ready? Cole's gonna draw. Just pull one out, okay? No, it's right here. One. You got it?
This girl.
It's Jody Greavy. Okay. Jody, you can message. I'll message you. You probably already have a conference ticket. We'll get that figured out. But you guys, we're doing this again. So everybody, every time you're on our team call live, you're gonna get your name put in, okay? And somebody else is gonna win next week. So, okay, we're good, Cole. Thank you.
No.
So thank you guys. Cole is fired up about this.
Well, Jody and Cole kind of have a secret thing. When Cole was born, Jody was very instrumental in like watching Cash. So like they have a thing.
That is true. Maybe that was an energy thing. So maybe next week I'll have somebody else draw. Because he could pull on that energy, I think. So, okay, awesome, you guys. We are good here. I'm gonna stop the live feed. If you guys want to unmute yourselves and just say thank you, anything you want to say to Christie and Robin,